St. Lucia continues to show positive signs as the steady drop in unemployment continues. The U.S. government's OPIC team explores investment opportunities in St. Lucia, and charity begins at home as the Prime Minister's Independence Ball benefits 15 local organizations. Join us for this week's review of the Prime Minister's Weekly Diary. Prime Minister Honorable Alan Shastny began the week by continuing discussions with cruise lines in Miami about the employment of more St. Lucians in the cruise sector. The Prime Minister met with representatives from Carnival Corporation to apprise them of continuous training of St. Lucians in various areas of hospitality. On Wednesday, St. Lucia welcomed a delegation from the U.S. government's Overseas Private Investment Corporation, OPIC. Acting President and CEO of OPIC, Mr. David Bohegian, led the delegation, which stemmed out of a meeting Prime Minister Shastny had with U.S. President Donald Trump in March. The OPIC delegation expressed interest in the Viewfort Home Port, as well as other infrastructure projects on the island. It was a packed day of visiting various sites, a quick stop for lunch at Hard as Hard, and then off to meetings with members of Cabinet, SLASPA, Invest St. Lucia, and representatives of the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for a fantastic morning and afternoon today. You ran down our schedule perfectly, except you forgot the delicious roti and bouillon we had. Really, it's right. Feeling wonderful about it right now. But I think the relationship between the United States, and in particular President Trump and you, is of key strategic importance, and I'm so glad to be able to deliver on President Trump's promise to lead the Overseas Private Investment Corporation and a major delegation to be here today and to really see your vision for what St. Lucia can become. Such a beautiful country, and to understand your vision for the cargo port and the passenger port and the roads really does sketch a vision for the 21st century. And I think the more people who are able to see that, the more both of our countries will be able to benefit.
The day's events also included the signing of the loan agreement with Taiwan for road rehabilitation works. The Prime Minister also announced that the government is pleased with the continuing decline in unemployment, especially amongst the youth.
If we compare this quarter to last quarter, the same year last year, the unemployment rate dropped from 21.8% to 15.5%. And youth unemployment dropped from 38.78% to 25.9%. And if we then look at it in comparison to the fourth quarter last year, so from one quarter to the next, last quarter, which was really, I think that's October, November, and December, was at 16.2% overall. And we've dropped to 15.5%, and youth unemployment in the last quarter was 33% compared to this quarter of 24.9%.
So, Mr. Prime Minister and Miss Raquel, I would like to say thanks. We are grateful that you considered us as a recipient of this venture. And I would also like to say a big thank you to the donors, because without them, it could not have been possible. Your working team as well, a big thank you for organizing such an event that raised so much beyond your expectation. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's the ball that keeps on giving. At an emotional check handover ceremony on Thursday morning, an unprecedented 15 local organizations were given donations from the Prime Minister's third annual Independence Ball. The ball has become a sought-after event on the island's independence calendar, and as the nation turned 40, the ball was also a special one, which attracted local and foreign donors. Since inception, the charity ball has been a major success, with this year exceeding expectations and raising almost $500,000.
While I mentioned before the Independence Committee participated in the process, I must here say that the success of the ball came out of the leadership, imagination, tenacity, and hard work of Mrs. Raquel Shastny. Each year, she excites persons around her to put in the effort and share in the vision of the event. And kudos also to the Office of the Prime Minister, especially Cabinet Secretary Emmanuel and DPS St. Croix for pulling it all together.
This year's recipients include Living Water Community, the Center for Adolescent Renewal and Education, Our Boys Matter, St. Lucia Sickle Cell Association, National Community Foundation, the Marian Home, Adelaide Home, Comfort Bay Senior Citizens Home, Lady Gordon Opportunity Center, Donata School, Foston Home for Children, Women's Support Center, Cerebral Palsy Association of St. Lucia, the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association, and the Cornerstone Humanitarian Society, which received a whopping $250,000, which will go to rehabilitation efforts at the home.
That is certainly going to make a deep impression in the quality of service that Cornerstone provides.
It really was a miracle. I sat there looking at our immediate needs list, and I looked at it and I thought, where will the money come? We need certain things as simple as teaching materials, as just a proper seat even for our teachers who actually use our students' chairs to teach. And I thought, okay, God will provide. It was 5 minutes later, the call came in, and I was one of those who screamed on the phone. I was like, oh my God, a miracle. It was a need met at a time I did not know where that need, where that would have come from. And so, Mr. Prime Minister, and everybody involved in this, thank you so much.
The Prime Minister was beaming with pride on Friday as the Royal St. Lucia Police Force welcomed 48 recruits. Also addressing the graduating officers was Attorney General Stephen Julian, who had a strong message about what it took to be a police officer.
Our journey as champions of change, and I want you to reflect on this for a moment. At its heart is the recognition by your superiors that the primary driver of any positive change in the ethos of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force lies with you. It is you who embody the aspirations of every member of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. And consequently, you are expected to be nothing less than true exemplars of the highest standards of policing.
The new recruits were officially inducted into the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to join in fulfilling the role of protecting our nation's security and upholding law and order.
You are more than police officers today. You're going to find yourself that you are a nurse, that when you're on the beat and you're walking to people's homes, that you're going to have to be cognizant of what's going on and who needs help. You're going to be a social worker, that in order to get people to trust you, that you must not only give them your trust, but you must show them that you care. And in caring is understanding of what's taking place in their own home. You'll find at times that you're going to be a fireman, that you're going to be the first person on a scene and may have to do things outside of the call of duty that you were trained for and have to be that first responder. Very importantly, you are going to be a mentor. That because of this uniform that you're wearing and because of this fraternity that you are part of, people immediately are going to be looking up to. And it's important, especially for young people, that you take up that challenge and be able to allow them to genuinely see you as a hero.
Join us next week as we take another look inside the Prime Minister's Weekly Diary.